Today on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Mike, I've seen a shortage of all things straws. Places don't have straws.
You're a big straw guy?
I like straws, yeah, very much. I don't care about the dolphins. Let them die. I like a nice straw.
Let the dolphins die.
I was only speaking of Dan Marino.
I like a double wide with all four of us. The girls sleep down the hallway. You and I sleep in the bigger bedroom with a lion.
Licking our toes.
Absolutely.
Darwin would say that we all evolved from something, right?
Well,
No,
and
a chicken
dinosaurs
wing's not
were
good.
birds.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, bingo,
A
bango.
chicken
we got
wing's
there.
not going to have 3 joints.
Well, no, I'm talking about...
It's got 2
You know
joints.
too much. See, the problem is you know too much. We just know what's happening in our bodies. You've had surgery.
All right, I didn't want to do it, but I'm an idiot. I'm going to do it right now.
What?
do it.
Parts of a chicken.
Oh, chicken
I'm
parts.
such a moron.
All that and more. The Mike O'Mara Show starts now. Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Hello, dear friends. Mike O'Mara relaxing in an office in sunny Fort Myers. No, I'm...
Good reference. He heads up to the to space today.
Well, as Shatner's on my mind. That's spectacular. Welcome to the Mike O'Mara Show. We're delighted to have you along from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Hyderabad, India, or Hyderabad, or It's Hyderabad. Right?
Hyderabad.
Keystone, South Dakota, Wheaton, Maryland, Santanella, California, Ventimiglia, Italy. The Mike O'Mara Show is on right now. It will be the Houston Astros against the Boston Red Sox in a week's time. So more baseball.
How do you feel about that?
Tougher team, Oscar. Tougher team.
They're good at cheating, though, so, you know.
Don't. Those days,
Those
ship
are
has sailed.
facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They
know.
did
I know,
cheat.
But Alex
Big
Cora
time.
paid his dues on that. So,
What, he had one cup of coffee out of baseball and then came back to start winning
Baseball
again?
coffee?
Yeah.
Baseball cup? What happened? We've lost Mike.
I dropped papers,
Oh, okay. Papers?
and I'm
Is the
just trying
saying
to.
once a cheater, always a cheater? That's in relationships, right?
You know, I think he's a good manager, and I think he paid his price. And I think stealing signs is, kind of the baseball way that's been going on for a million years. But I think they caught him, and
Right.
I think the Red Sox let him go, and the Red Sox brought him back. So, I think that's, I think he paid the proper price for what he did.
All right.
I
See,
believe
Rob,
that with all my heart.
There
I
are
had no
signals
problem
the
when they
catcher
brought him
gives
back.
to the pitcher.
Now, is this the one with where they hit it with a stick?
No. Signals.
No, I'm talking
Signals.
about the game itself. This is the one with the
Shut up. Stop it.
some sort of.
Just stop it.
There's a lovely uniform and with a leather glove.
It did involve a stick in a trash can. And
No,
some sort of Morse code.
I do remember.
Yes,
I do
yes.
remember this actually.
Oh, we're back.
Before we bring in our talking head, I want to send out my very, very best birthday greetings, which I should have done yesterday, to our friend Jimmy Cerrito, who sent me a text picture of his knee. That was just, boy, oh boy, that knee replacement. I didn't know that they open you up from like well above the kneecap all the way down to the top of the shin. And, he's been through it.
If
So
I'm not
I
mistaken,
wish
a
him the-
tragic folding table accident, right? As a Bills fan.
Is that what happened?
No, I think what it is I think
You got
it's,
me with that one. I have no idea. I was wondering. I was saying to my wife, I said, I don't know what he did. I would
knee
imagine on
replacement,
his feet for
yeah,
a long time.
is common with bartenders, people that are on their feet, standing,
Or going to concerts.
or seeing Ozzy.
Or fats.
Ozzy.
Fatties. I shouldn't say
He's
that.
not a fat,
I don't
he's a
want to be
skinny
accused
now.
of fat shaming,
He's
but I'm a fat
skinny.
person.
You're right.
He's not skinny, but he's definitely
got a
not
dad bod.
in my
He's not fat.
weight category.
That would be a good
know?
that'd be a good vanity tag for his car.
Dad bod?
Dad bod. DADBOD.
There are ways to avoid orthopedic injuries.
Yeah. Keep it tight.
If you're a large person.
Keep it tight.
If you're a large person, you can avoid orthopedic injuries by not doing anything. If you're a large person like me who does a lot of things, then you risk, getting. I have an ankle brace on today, as a matter of fact, from a foot injury.
Your ankle? Oh, no.
I think it's foot, ankle, and I've
knew
had
something was
the
wrong.
old.
we didn't.
needle.
Something
Yeah,
was
but he
off.
never said anything.
We felt
about
What do
it.
you
We
mean
felt
you
something-
thought something
the
was wrong?
energy,
What are you
the
talking
energy.
about?
I felt something was off. But now
Did he
I know.
say that? Did he say that to you?
I talked to Pony about it pre-show.
Pre-show. Is
Yeah.
Pony with us? Or
He's
is
here.
he...
Today's
here.
one of his days.
Oh, he's here today. Yeah. How lovely is that? What a great day.
Yeah.
Hey, Flex Schedule, what's going on?
Something in the air. Something's in the air.
What, you were talking,
FS.
Oscar talked to you about me? Tell me everything
just tell
you know.
him. Tell him. Just tell him.
Oh God! It was. You know what?
It started at 6 a.m.
Yeah. At 6 a.m. We're like, you know what? What's up with Mike? Is he doing well? Does he?
We were worried about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is-
We were wondering if everything's okay.
Mhm.
Because you've been complaining a lot as of
faculties.
late, and then Carla's doing the dishes
I want
violently.
give it all to me.
Yeah, so-
Carla and I were talking today between my son and Carla. It's funny how you pick up on certain things that there've been a little different scheduling this week, and it's.
May I be bold?
No, shut up for a second.
Okay,
half
never
an hour before the half hour of our day starting, 7:25 was fine. 7:25 was, getting ourselves together, and a 6:56 for an 8-year-old is
brutal.
That's a grind. That's a grind. And every parent at the bus stop is going through the same thing. And every parent around the country that has those, meanwhile, I drive down to other parts of the county and I will see an 8:15 bus stop where they're just sitting there waiting to lollygag into school. And I'm extremely
P.S.
jealous of that. So what were you going to say, Oscar?
I was just going to say that it felt to us, there are tells within our friendship and our show that when you complain about Carla being too busy, you might not be getting enough attention at home.
Carla is very engaged, as anybody who has...
She's an entrepreneur.
Well, yeah.
As anybody who has done that, yeah, but that was not the thing. I'm today, yesterday, dragging. I am dragging, and that is because the sad reality of it is this. That I no longer can keep the same
low T
pace that I had. I don't think I can have 2 beers after playing golf and not be throw in late night activity. We turn in at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And then you throw baseball into the equation, and suddenly that 9:30 is turning into midnight, and my body clock's all whacked out.
Yeah.
I don't like spring forward and fall back. And we're coming up to that, and it's messed me up, and I'm sure I'm not alone.
No.
That everybody goes through periods of time where it's just a little odd and it's a little off. And so
I think fall
your
back
instincts
will
are
help him,
spot
though.
on.
Fall back
It will help you.
Yeah, it'll help you.
All right. So
Because-
but there's got to be something. I mean, is there anything more?
No, that's
are you,
it.
Are,
I said-
are you
I
are you
said-
thinking there's marital problems? Is that what it is?
No,
Is that,
not
right,
at
well-
all. I just
well,
said,
I
hey,
don't know what you
Pony,
were
today's
talking
a big day. Imagine we're a shipping freighter going through
The canal?
a hostile sea,
Oh.
and there might be some I'm the captain now rolling around, so let's get everything tight. No missteps. Let's launch without a hitch and keep it rolling.
Is
Exactly.
that because I said yesterday that I wanted to, get things rolling right on and tighten up the ship a little bit?
Yeah, and
the
Well, we
little
wanna make
ship
sure,
that was
yeah.
in
the same
Washington,
pep
D.C.
talk came to me, and I said, look, 9 a.m., Oscar, you're better than this. You want to run a company? You can get there by 9 a.m. Do it. Do it today.
But so is that everything?
That's everything.
Because
Yeah, but we
usually
didn't
you
know
like
about
to.
we didn't know about your ankle though.
Yeah, we didn't know. That's
Nothing. That's every day. That's every. There's always a tweak or whatever.
All right.
That's why I was talking about. But Jimmy's the one that this started with, where I was looking at him. I remember back when I became
He
bionic.
literally broke a wing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jimmy,
Buffalo knees.
Jimmy, that would be the arm. That would be the arm.
Excuse me.
That's just. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
I'm so sorry.
Well, no, I think that the
So if you said a thigh or a drumstick,
no, I think
maybe you're right. Not a wing though, because it's his knee. Sorry, that can't work. I tried
think his
it.
knee
It didn't work.
is actually a flat. Because you get the two kinds of wings. His knee is a flat, and his arm would be the drumstick.
No, the flap. The flat is the actual wing, isn't it?
Yeah, but it does.
What is the drummy? What is the drummy?
The drum is it's.
Let's dissect the parts of a chicken right
the
now.
drum is right after
I'm
the
ready
thigh.
to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the little
The what?
drumstick.
The drum's after the thigh, Pony says.
Yeah, but
The drummy's after the thigh.
on the little, like when you're doing buffalo wings, it is essentially a full wing that is broken into two pieces, and it's the flat with the point on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's
So
what
the meaty part you eat is this is so gross.
Yes.
The shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, part of the wing.
and
yeah.
then it attaches to the wing that flaps.
Right, el flapo.
And then a drumstick is the thigh. I mean the leg.
the leg, but you see,
And
when
that's
you,
attached to the thigh.
But when you talk
why am I
about-
thinking we're making a chicken now look like a tarantula or something?
this is an 8-legged chicken.
These guys.
Idiots.
Hey, we just know
This
how
is
to
the dumbest show. This is when the show is so dumb, and I love it.
But the
this
thing is that the drumstick that you get on a plate of buffalo wings is not really a drumstick.
A flat better represents some sort of femur or bone.
Yeah, it's
Right?
part of the wing.
Yes.
The wing is broken into 2 pieces to make buffalo wings. A full wing is going to have 3 joints on it.
And Darwin would say that we all evolved from something, right?
Well,
No,
and
a chicken
dinosaurs
wing's not
were
g-
birds.
yes.
Yes.
See, bingo, bango.
A chicken
we got
wing's
there.
not going to have 3 joints.
Well, no, I'm talking about.
It's got 2
You know
joints.
too much. See, the problem is you know too much.
It's got-
You know too much.
I'm
We
t-
just know what's happening in our bodies. You've had surgery.
All right, I didn't want to do it, but I'm an idiot. I'm going to do it right now.
What?
Let's do it.
Parts of a chicken.
Oh, chicken
I'm
parts.
such a moron. All right. Hold on. And I'm going to put up images too.
Oh, good.
Because I'm
Images
a
help.
dope.
They help.
Right.
I always thought a
All right.
wing was like the glutes. No?
Why would you think that when it's used for flying, even though they're flightless birds?
I think chickens can fly for short distances.
I thought wings was just kind of like
No,
we
they
call it a
cannot.
wing.
They can locomote
Yeah.
along the ground, but they cannot fly.
They can go from the foul line and
Get it?
dunk the basket,
Foul line? Yeah. That was great. Yeah.
All right, I'm looking.
but they
I'm
can't
looking
fly
right
over
now.
the court.
Certainly not.
All right,
Certainly
so,
not.
Maybe the 3-point line. Maybe.
Maybe. Well, they're all about accuracy. They're more of a
What a
defensive
terrible, horrible. That you have the beak, the comb. That's parts of the head.
Right.
The eye, the earlobes, the wattles, the hackles, the breasts, the secondaries, the shank, the toe, the claw, the hock,
Sounds
the
like
vent,
sounds
the
like
cloaca.
Mike,
or
it
the
sounds like
cloaca.
a date with Pony. Give him the
That's
waddles.
not. All right, now I'm looking at the wings.
Okay.
All right, the wings. Now, wait a minute.
Are they literal wings?
Well, yeah, they have wings on a chicken.
But people call things all the time.
Oh,
They're
okay.
not
So
that.
when you get a drumstick,
It's part
when
of
you
the
get
wing.
when you get a drumstick, that is part of that's attached to the thigh. So the large drumstick is actually the leg.
This is what I've been trying to tell you.
That's the leg. I don't doubt that.
What's
that
a
you
flat
you worked.
then? Is that the
flat is
calf?
look,
It's not a flat. You don't call it a flat. It's a wing.
well, it's part of the wing, and it's called a flat.
No, the flat is the wing. That's a chicken wing. The drumstick, but once again, they show the thigh and the leg, and then you have the drumstick that's sitting out there, and I have no idea what that's connected
this
to.
is Oscar. This is
Yeah,
a full wing.
he's showing me, but you're showing me chicken wings that are being prepared.
Right,
He's
but-
looking at a skeletal model.
Yeah, but what I'm showing you is
Yes.
this. Normally this part.
Oh, I got it.
comes
I got
off,
it. Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah,
there's
yeah.
the flat,
Okay.
Then there's
If
the
you look at a
drumstick.
wing, it looks like a full wing, Mike.
Yeah,
Not
like-
not just broken up between drums and flats.
But the drummy, when you get wings, you get a wing, like the flat part,
Yes. Yes.
and then you get a little mini drumstick.
Right.
That is the top of the chicken, right? That is this part.
Yes, exactly.
Correct?
yes,
Mhm.
correct.
Right
Correct.
here.
Correct.
That's what.
Correct.
Okay. Now
And a
we,
lot
now
of
we
times
understand
the
that. By the
flat-
way, if anybody wants any evidence, irrefutable evidence that we are the biggest idiots in the world, use this segment.
I think if-
File it away.
I think that if you looked at a wing from afar and you didn't know what it was, a full wing,
Oh my God, what is it?
it looks like it's a foot,
Well, yeah, it's almost Z-shaped.
right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of times that outer pointy part, the actual point of the wing,
Mhm.
is off. Sometimes they're served with, sometimes without.
And it would be great
Without.
if and I've seen.
And by the way, I think it should be called a drumette.
Mike, you know what? We agree there. Drumette and flat.
isn't
In
gender
the
just a
wing, there
construct
is
now?
the drumette. Hold on. In the wing, there is the drumette. There is the mid-joint wing, which we eat in chicken wings when
Yes.
we order them.
Mhm.
And there is the tip. Well, I'm just saying
Mike,
what it is.
Just the tip.
Maybe they're gender fluid.
Could be. And it's
There's
also,
the thigh. Now there's the breast fillet, the thigh, the breast, the drumstick, the rump, the ham. Have you ever heard of anything called the ham on a chicken?
no, it's not kosher. I don't touch it.
Rumshika.
All right. The hind quarter,
All I
the
wanna
feet,
do is
the
a
heart,
zoom,
the liver.
zoom, and a boom,
I'm
boom.
done. Let's
Just
bring in our
shake it
guest.
I like chicken livers.
Enough of
All
this. Enough of this absolute
Feel
idiocy.
better, Jimmy.
Yeah, please,
It's,
Jimmy.
thank you,
heal
Jimmy. Good luck
Mend
and
the
happy
wing.
birthday. And hope everything goes well. And what a weird show this is. Time for our talking head. This is Steve Kelsey, everybody. Steve has been with us since 1992.
Yeah.
He is married to his ex-wife, Janet. Janet has been a fan of the show since they attended our most recent Vegas show. That's a new listener. That's good. They have 2 kids, both only children. Okay. All right. We're doing shtick right out of the gate here. Jonathan is 35. Harrison is 26. Steve has a... now, if you wrote this sentence, Steve has a Jack Russell Terrier, right?
Yes.
The way this is written, it would be that Jonathan or Harrison has a Jack Russell Terrier.
I suppose you're right.
Named Koa, who is growly but not bitey. He is now Steve is now a woodworker after retiring from his job as a dental supply salesman. Right?
Yes.
Not as dental supply salesman. Right?
Right.
Just checking with you, Rob.
Just say sorry, boss.
Well, no, I'm just getting my wallet is all I'm doing.
Steve was raised as a military brat and moved 6 times in the first 9 years of his life. Since then, he has spent most of his life in Chico, California. Chico, don't get discouraged. He cheated death in 1973 when 22 boxcars full of bombs headed to Vietnam blew up a quarter mile from his home.
Whoa.
Wow. Steve loves when the show shares our unvarnished real lives and does impressions of Mike's impressions. I love that. Favorite voices, James Garner and Larry King, especially King's things. Steve loves Hawaii. And our Talking Heads mom, Steve's mom,
Yes.
dated a Beverly Hillbilly. Intrigued? You should be. Now, here's... Oh, there you go. How you doing, Steve?
Hi, Steve.
Good morning.
You dated...
Get that morning fog out.
Wow. You're married to your ex-wife, Janet?
Yes. Yeah, we got married back in 1983, and by the end of our 7th year together, we got divorced, and we stayed apart for a couple more years. Then we learned that we could behave behave ourselves around each other. So, because the rule was don't fight in front of the kid, and I was moving out of town, I invited him to come with me, and here we are.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
We got married 7 years later, and that's why I have 2 only children.
So what is the total legal marriage time in your relationship with Janet?
I'll say this: the time that we've been together is now 38 years.
Wow. That's it. So this interests me because I'm a relationship guy, and it's interesting to me that do we have latency like on me today?
No,
I don't think so.
See you
All right,
great and
maybe
hear you
it's me. So anywho, the idea of you're married, you fight like cats and dogs, you realize you can't be together because it's just too volatile, and then you separate, and while you're separated, you behave differently because of the fact that you're not together, and then you realize you still are crazy about each other, and you get back together and say, if we're going to do this, we're going to learn to figure things out. Is that, am I getting that fairly correctly there, or what?
Mike, the important word you said there was crazy, and yeah. The thing is, you go and you find your own other relationships, and no relationship is perfect. You just find the person with the least number of faults, or the faults you can live with the most. And
amen.
Yeah.
So, the things that frustrated me about Janet in the beginning were things that I actually kind of adored in comparison to other relationships in between our marriages.
Okay. All right. And so, but it's almost like a redemption story.
Yeah, you took a break, and then you're like, we had something special.
And we could never be where we are now if it weren't for what we went through.
Do you believe, and I won't get too heavy on this, but I'm curious because my relationship with Carla, do you believe that the person you're with makes you better?
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's how I feel about Carla.
Well, the problem is that what she was trying to change in me, which needed to be changed, maybe that caused a lot of the resentment in the beginning. And, you know, we were 21 and 22 when we got married.
Okay.
So we were babies. Right. We knew each other 10 months before we got married, but I was quite smitten. So anyhow, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, that's good.
Did you
Beautiful
have
story.
to get married?
Beautiful story.
No.
Okay.
Neither time.
Okay. That was different in my
right.
house.
Oh my
In fact, the
God.
first time it was heavily discouraged by our family, but that's okay. Let's not pick scabs.
And now you've retired. I can't think of a greater separation in jobs. Dental supply, which would seem to me watching the grass grow, but probably pays the light bill pretty well. And now a woodworker, which to me would be just wildly satisfactory to go into a shop and make stuff. What do you make in your wood shop?
Oh, I make all sorts of stuff. I do custom things. I just made a Halloween scene for a friend of mine. I just finished that up. That they'll paint and backlight, and it'll go in their window and be a nice little silhouette. But I started out making cribbage boards for my boys because they're both very involved with Boy Scouts. Both became Eagle Scouts.
Wow.
And one of the things is to have these cribbage boards that fold down to about 3.5 inches by 7 inches. You can stick it in a cargo pocket or a backpack pocket, and everywhere you go, you've got a game. And it's a classic game. I learned it from my grandfather. I love it. And I try to grow the concept of playing cribbage again, because it seems like an old man game like Pinochle or something.
You know, I'm looking at your bio and I'm saying to myself, we have got, it seems to me, a bit of a pattern with a lot of military brats that listen to this show. A lot of people that have moved around the country. And I remember that early on, I became aware of this show being put on cassette tape and sent over to people and people that travel the world. There just seems to be a theme. You were a military brat. I, at a time in my life, was married to a military brat. And that has its benefits and it has its drawbacks. But you certainly see the world. I always ask a military brat, when you were living in different parts of the world, was there any particular station where you stayed longer than others?
Our final station when we came back to Northern California, my dad worked at McClellan Air Force Base, which is right here in Sacramento, or right there in Sacramento. And then he took his next assignment was at a base probably 2 hours from home, and he would commute every day, but we could live in the same house. And so when I moved to Northern California and started fourth grade, that house is the house that I lived in until I got married.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
That's cool.
It was our house. It was still our family home until the time I got married.
I was talking to playing golf with an officer, a high-level officer that had been career and all the way up to general, and he got out. And he said to me that they now, although they've settled down and he's retired from the military, that they, and I'm talking about dozens of different locations around the world that he's lived in, they still get a little wanderlust. They still get, they still feel sometimes a little itchy when they stay in one place, that they want to move. Did your folks have any of that, or were they glad to finally settle down?
Well, my dad did 27 years. He started off in the Navy. Worked in a submarine, and then got out, went back to school, got his master's degree, and then joined the State Naval Reserves, but then changed over to the Air Force. And that's where he became a hospital administrator. And that's when we did he was in the Air Force when I was born, and we started bouncing around immediately. I was born in the Philippines, so.
Wow.
It got weird from there.
Yeah. That's where my mom was going when her first husband passed away after World War II was over. His plane went into the drink, and they were actually getting ready to move full time to the Philippines. This is amazing because all the way back in 1973, I take it we're about the same age. 22 boxcars full of bombs headed to Vietnam blew up a quarter mile from your home. That must have been really something. Wow.
Well, it's not the way I recommend you start a nice Saturday morning. That's for damn sure.
Saturday it happened, huh? So you're home at this particular time.
Yeah, my mom and dad had been talking about seeing and hearing these pops and explosions, but they were small, and you just see a black pillar of smoke pop up. And my sister and I were curious. We wanted to see it, and so we were sitting down having breakfast, and behind us is a big plate glass window. So my mom's bringing our food to us. She goes, "Oh, there's one." And so my sister and I stand up and we look out the plate glass window, and there's the black pillar of smoke. And then along with these boxcars that were blowing up, there were 3 propane tankers in there.
Oh.
And the first one exploded. And that's what really caused the damage. And so if you go to the Roseville train explosions, you'll see this giant orange mushroom fireball going in the air, which was a propane tanker exploding. And that's what blew out windows 5 miles away and could be heard 40 miles away.
Wow.
Did it take out your plate glass window when it went up?
Yeah, I did. And I covered up like this. My sister covered up with her hands. And you know how glass, it pulled out as the mushroom went up, and then it released, and that's when it broke.
So breakfast was ruined.
Rob, breakfast was terrible. It must have been terrifying when that happened.
They were the crunchiest eggs I've ever eaten.
Well, they taste better because of the glass. Anyway, so I mean,
it hits us. We're all torn up and cut up, but it doesn't bleed right away. Glass cuts do. And my mom said, "Hey, the horses busted out of the fence. Run up the road and see if the neighbors saw where they went," because we lived out in the country. So I haul up the road, get to the neighbor's house. My blood's pumping, adrenaline's going, and the blood starts flowing. And so all the glass cuts in my hair, I'm bleeding out
wow.
Carrie, the movie Carrie. And,
oh my God.
Everything from my nose down was bleeding, and I had a big V line of blood. But I don't know it because I'm not looking in the mirror. So I run up to the neighbors and said, "Have you seen our horses?" And the mother faints.
No.
Yeah.
Whoa. I mean, you're not overstating it when
No.
you're talking about how close you came being a quarter. And I imagine there was some loss of life when this whole thing went up. That's pretty stunning.
There was no one killed.
Really?
Which is the weirdest thing. And I had friends who lived in what used to be the old depot, which right next to the tracks. Now, we had a couple of kids lost eyes, and another couple lost their hearing in one ear. But the rest of it was just scars up like we had. But I brought this in. This is the last bomb fragment that I have that was in our yard.
Oh, wow.
I use it as a doorstop in my garage, but this is a hunk of shrapnel. We found hundreds of these in our yard, pieces of train. We had a 250-pound bomb in our backyard. We had a train wheel on the other side of our house. It blew over our house. If it had fallen just 50 yards sooner, we would have had a train wheel in our house. And plastic explosive was everywhere. So we had to water our lawn to dissolve the plastic explosive, because one guy was out mowing his lawn and he hit a chunk and it blew his lawnmower over his head.
Oh my God.
But
Wow.
this is crazy. It blew out every single window in our house, except for the one on our garage door, but instead it just blew the whole door off its hinges. And the room in the furthest part of our house, my sister's room, that window didn't break. So that's kind of where we went to stay away from broken glass, because it was everywhere in the house.
Yeah.
And so but the problem was a hunk of shrapnel that's about the size of my fist came through the ceiling, hit her light fixture, and still put glass everywhere. So it was the least glass infested area. It picked up our roof, moved it over and set it back down. So all the nails came down out of the ceiling and were at an angle. So you can see that the roof moved a couple of inches.
Wow.
Oh my God. I mean, no wonder you talk about it like it happened yesterday. I mean, I can imagine.
I tell you what, it's vivid. It's vivid.
Oh
then
my
dad
God.
And I was in elementary school. My dad and I went around to all the neighbors' houses to check on some of the old ladies and stuff, make sure they were safe. And he's out in the truck. He says, "Go check on him." I was like, "I don't want to go find dead people." I'm sure there was going to be somebody sitting there that's all perforated with glass and whatever.
You
but,
do it,
oh, well.
Dad.
And nobody,
Yeah.
and you're a quarter mile away, and nobody
Yes.
died. That is a
No one-
miracle to me. It's amazing. It really is.
Absolute miracle. Absolute miracle.
Oh my God! Wow, I can't think of living through that. Did your dad go? Did he do any duty in Vietnam during the war? Was he over there at all?
He did not. He was always stateside. He was like I said, hospital administrator. He was an officer. He, like I said, I was born in '62, and I was telling Rob that I was born in the Philippines, moved to Ohio, Southern California, New Jersey, the Azore Islands, Illinois, and then Northern California, where I started 4th grade.
Wow!
Can you imagine the
that's
fact?
just amazing.
Kindergarten.
Can you imagine the fact that if his dad had been in Vietnam, he would have been safer?
Yeah, then near the depot.
Exactly.
All right. Well,
I honestly
we're
think I should have gotten a Purple Heart, but that's just
that is just. I mean, when I read that, I'm like, oh, this ought to be interesting. I didn't know it would be that amazing, and just the power of something like that. And the last thing that I can't let you get away without talking to you about, our Talking Heads mom dated a Beverly hillbilly. This is your mom,
Yep.
and she's from the L.A. area, I assume, something like that. No,
Sacramento.
Sacramento, California.
My mom was a model and a dancer, and she ran a dance school. Rob, you'll like this. My mom learned to teach hula dancing, and her teacher was Hilo Hattie.
Oh, no way. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Rob, you know
Oscars
Hilo Hattie? Is this some
like I
connection?
One of the, I would say, the grandmother of hula stateside. I mean, she popularized the dance as we got.
Taught Elvis?
Probably had something to do with Elvis, but
Hilo Hattie.
when we brought Hawaii on as a state, I guess in '59, there was a Hawaiian surge on the mainland, and she was responsible for teaching the hula.
All right, I'm going to guess because, listen, when you're talking about the Beverly Hillbillies and we're talking about this age range, even your mom, I would not imagine your mom is Buddy Ebsen age. That doesn't work that way. So, and I don't think she dated Granny.
Irene Ryan.
And unless she and nothing that there's anything wrong with that, or Ellie Mae for that matter.
Oh,
that
I
leaves
wish.
leaves only one individual that with this show, that my old show, the Don and Mike show, had a bit of a history with.
beef,
Are
yeah.
you and a man who, no offense to you, Steve, played the field a bit. Are we talking about Jethro? Did she date
We are
Jethro?
talking about Max Bear Jr. Yes. Jethro, both.
Oh dear God! Oh, was it a long-lived relationship at all with Max?
No, it was very brief, and it was pre-Beverly Hillbillies. They were in high school, and he got, because of my mom's popularity in the dancing and the modeling. She was Miss Sacramento County. She was Miss Carmichael. She was in the top 4 for Miss California. My mom was quite a looker back in the day, and but she got a lot of notoriety and a lot of local notoriety and fame. And Max Bear was living in town there. Max Bear Sr. said, when you get a girl like this, you need to marry her. Well, they were still, young high school age, but nevertheless, they dated a few times. And so that's part of my mom's history of my connection to the good old Beverly Hillbillies.
I love
Oh my God!
That's
and
cool.
And then later, you wanted to build a casino or something like that. I don't know.
No, Mike. What
it's a long
happened
time.
is you.
What did we do to him, Rob? Tell us what we did to him.
The Beverly Hillbillies Casino never came to fruition, but it was going to feature a restaurant where everyone ate on pool tables because it was the fancy eating table, and
Right.
you made fun of it, and he got so upset that he said he was going to spend every minute for the duration of his life ruining your show.
That's it. Yeah, I know it was a loving relationship.
It didn't end
I know
well.
that.
It did not end well.
Well,
that
his
was it.
real fame happened with the celebrity Burke, so I don't know why he's pissed at you guys.
I have no idea either. It's a weird world. Steve, what a fascinating life. Absolutely
question.
amazing. Yeah,
If you
go
don't
ahead.
mind,
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I wanted to wait. How did you find the show? Like, how did you follow it? How did you find it?
Well, when I was in college, I got into listening to political radio, And my wife says, you need to stop doing that because it's making me angry. And it really was. I mean, it doesn't matter which side of the fence you're on. If you're watching Fox, you're watching CNN, you're getting equally pissed and frustrated with our political system. And I listened to that and was very involved. And I got very educated in politics, and it was interesting. But my wife says it's time to let it go. And I was working one day with my Oral-B representative, Bob Halleck. I think he still listens to the show.
Oh, good.
But we called him Oral Bob. Oral Bob Halleck. And
that's funny.
Hi, Rob.
Dennis jokes.
Coffee out the nose, no good, huh? Yeah. So Oral Bob says, hey, you got to listen to these guys, Don and Mike. And that was back in 93. And I tell you, I listened to, I think, 2 episodes, and I was hooked, and I never listened to anything else. And then when podcasting came, when I could listen to the show on iPod, I never missed an episode. And it wasn't until about a month ago, I got almost a year behind in shows because you're putting out faster than I can listen, even though I'm on the road all the time with work.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you
content.
go, people that were giving us a hard time about taking Monday off. What do you think of that? Putting him out faster than he can listen to him.
Yeah.
How about that? Come on now. That's what, it's awesome. And we appreciate the support so much. Yeah. Yes, Rob.
Well,
now you're putting your finger up.
Well,
what? I'm trying to end the segment because we're 35 minutes into the show.
A great button to that story is that his wife became a listener because she saw the fellowship at the Vegas show. It's really nice. It's a nice story.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
it's fellowship at the show and fellowship on the show, as I just demonstrated.
The fan club family is absolutely amazing. And when we were in Vegas, my wife listens to the show. She always diminished it. Well, you want to listen to your show? Okay, we're in the car. So she got to listen to it. She knew the cast of players. But when we went to Vegas, I said, I really want to do this. We go to Vegas, and we just get surrounded by the fan club family, and she says, I just adore this. And so now she's a big part of the world.
Well, Oscar is working behind the scenes right now because we are planning the Rob and Mike 30th anniversary, which is
30 for 30.
The spectacular 30 for 30. It's going to be bigger than life, and so plan accordingly. We'll be letting people know, Oscar, I hope early on.
I got a call this Thursday
plan
about just this.
Nice.
That's awesome. We're really looking forward to it. Steve, before we let you go, we're running super late. That story about 1973 is absolutely amazing. Anybody you want to say goodbye to before we say goodbye to you?
I want to say hi to my lovely wife, but if I tried to make a list in my mind of the people that are important to me in this group, and I felt so concerned that I was going to forget somebody, I'm just going to say, hey, TM West fan club, you guys rock, love you, appreciate you. You guys, love you, and you are you're my entertainment. That's all I do is listen to you guys, and you make me happy.
Thank you, Steve. That's wonderful. Steve, thank you. Thank you very much. I love that. I love this segment. I never knew I would love a segment so much as this. This is going to be lasting forever. Another great day, another great conversation. God bless you. Hopefully we'll see you in Vegas in the spring, and thank you for everything you do, and stay safe. Don't walk by any boxcars, okay?
No.
Thank you. That's Steve Kelsey, everybody. We'll take a break, and we will come back with more fun and thrills. Homepage coming up next right here on the Mike O'Mara Show, everybody.
I want to talk to the listeners. Hey out there, how are you doing? Got a suggestion for you. When you're ordering your Rob Spiewak signature fruitcake at MikeO'MaraShow.com, why not pick up 2 of them? One for you and one for that special someone. I'll do you one better. Turn the lights down low, build a fire in the fireplace, pour a glass of wine, put on some soothing music, maybe loosen up that top button, or better yet, just slip into something a little more comfortable, huh? Now, invite that special someone over and enjoy some Rob Spiewak signature fruitcake in the flesh. Mano Imano. Wow. TMOS fruitcakes are only available for a limited time, but that doesn't limit your time together this holiday season. Hey, whatever 2 or more consenting adults do in the privacy of their own home is none of my affair. Come on over. I'll show you how I got my nickname, and we can enjoy that fruitcake all night long.
Oh, my.
Sexy twitch.
Oh, prolific. Thy name is Twitch. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This portion of our program is brought to you by Cornerstone. The 10-year Treasury, which mortgage rates follow, has moved off its lows now. That's indicating that interest rates may be rising soon. So what does that mean to you? Well, if you haven't taken advantage of the low rates and the increase in your home's equity by now, what are you doing? This is an opportunity.
Oscar,
you got to do it.
Come on.
Come on, Shelley. Come on. Come on. With the availability of all this equity, you can pay off credit cards, student loans, remove PMI, or complete the home improvement project you've been putting off and make it all tax deductible. You have to call my good friend Mark Livingstone and his team at Cornerstone First Financial. They're right up the road in our old digs off of Wisconsin Avenue in Washington, D.C., and they have worked for people all over the United States. And they have their own money, so they can guarantee to meet or beat any competitor. Whether it's a purchase or a refinance, call Cornerstone First Financial, 202-625-1221. It's not a question of if, but when these rates will go back up. So do you and your family a favor and call today, 202-625-1221 or cornerstonefirst.com.
From the four corners of the World Wide Web and into your digital device, it's what you need to know. This is the homepage.
This is interesting as far as sports is concerned. The Brooklyn Nets have decided not to let Kyrie Irving play until he gets vaccinated or until his situation is resolved some other way, like with an exemption. Under current COVID restrictions in New York City, Kyrie isn't allowed in the Barclays Center, that's where the Nets play, or in Madison Square Garden, which is the home of the New York Knicks. That means he'd miss 43 games in the coming season, 41 at home and 2 at MSG. He'd also be able to practice within city limits. The team says, quote, Kyrie has made a personal choice and we respect his individual right to choose. Currently, the choice restricts his ability to be a full-time member of the team, and we will not permit any member of our team to participate with part-time availability. Sources close to Kyrie claim he's not anti-vax, but he's against vaccine mandates, and he wants to be, quote, a voice for the voiceless. I kind of think the people that are anti-vax have a very loud voice. I've seen them protesting out on the street down here outside the hospital.
You know,
where they want to make sure the nurses are able to go in there without vaccinations. Yeah,
we ran into a lot of that in New York City. Every place we went to eat, the theater, you had to show not only your vax card but photo ID before you even could darken the door.
Was it a hassle, Rob?
Not at all.
There you go. I love that. See, I mean, that's terrific.
It's sad to see a superstar with that much clout, though, to take that
set
stance.
a bad example. Yeah,
it sucks. Yeah. It's a drag. And look, I think there's a lot of blame to go around. I think messaging has something to do with it as well.
Sure.
And you can point fingers at a lot of different people with this, but it goes on. And at least we're seeing numbers, certainly down here in Southwest Florida, going down. The Rock and Vin Diesel hate each other. You know that,
yes.
right?
Of course, yes.
You know about this story. They're still trading blows, and I don't know the particulars of what Vin Diesel did when they worked together.
Diva.
That's what I've heard.
Yes.
In a new interview in Vanity Fair, The Rock admits that he shouldn't have called out Vin's candy-ass behavior. That's what he said publicly, but he stands by what he said. He adds that the Fast and Furious crew had his back. Here's a quote. So Rock's just throwing rocks. I mean, big time.
Yeah.
He said, quote, it was as if every single crew member found their way to me and either quietly thanked me or sent me a note. The Rock and Vin did have a meeting after everything blew up. They didn't make peace. They just agreed they're, quote, philosophically two different people, and we approach the business of movie making two very different ways. According to The Rock, his way is to consider everyone working on a film as, quote, equal partners with respect and humility and being respectful of the process and every other human being who is putting in just as much time, just as much hard work and sweat equity, if not more, which is a backhanded way of saying Vin did the opposite of that.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where they are. I don't know. But
Dwayne Johnson and Vincent Diesel are going to live separate but equal lives.
Doesn't the body of work just speak volumes of who's probably right and who's probably wrong here? The Rock just keeps making movies. Vince got one franchise. Mind you, it's one of the largest in the world.
Right.
But The Rock continues to make movies everywhere.
Yeah, how can you make a movie about the worst ride at Disneyland, the Jungle Cruise, and come out smelling like a rose? This guy knows what he's doing.
Well, there's somebody in this little threesome that predicted that a long time ago.
Yes.
Sirree. Team Rock
Rob
right over
Spiewak.
here. Team Dwayne.
Team Rock.
If you're I don't care. If you're meeting up with someone and they text that they're going to be a few minutes late, how late do you expect them to be? Someone polled 5,000 Americans, and the most popular answer was 5 to 10 minutes late.
30.
Some of us aren't that patient, though. 6% said they still expect the person to be on time, and 9% said less than 5 minutes late.
How can if someone calls and says you're going to be a few minutes late, why would you expect them to be on time?
If it's a Zoom meeting, I'm a 5 to 10 usually.
I think,
but if it's in person, easy 30. That means I can go and shoot a couple emails off, make some calls, and then I'll see you.
I think 5.
You with us,
Yes.
will say be up in 5.
Yes.
And you're not. It's not 15.
No.
It's maybe
10.
sometimes
Yeah, but that's-
10 at the most,
But
but never
he's-
later than that. Really,
He's-
right?
But he's specific. He never says a few minutes. He usually
No.
gives a number.
Yeah, I give
And
a
so
number.
he sticks to. I think few is indicative of 5.
Yeah.
I think that's what my jump is.
Also,
on
in the
that.
world of GPS, my Google will tell you how far you are. Out.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is true. But I mean, you've done it, and
My
I
sister
think we
says
all
I'm running a little late. That means 2 hours.
really.
That's
Wow.
what it is. I know
Okay.
her. I know what happens if she says she's going to be at my mom's house by 3. She'll be there by 5.
Okay, all right. Well,
Is that the way she works in the OR?
Yeah, we don't know where he is. We're going to have to re-anesthetize you. All right, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but apparently it's more and more common for friends to pool their money and buy houses together, mainly because it's the only way young people can afford to buy a home these days. I was looking in a community down here that was one of the more affordable home communities down here that I looked at years and years ago. And even they're not in reach for most people now.
Yeah.
A real estate analytics firm called Atom Data Solutions has been tracking the trend. They say the number of co-buyers with different last names has soared 771% in the last 7 years. Not all of those people are friends buying homes together, but a lot are. Unmarried couples are also getting in on it, and the pandemic may have accelerated that. According to the National Association of Realtors, 11% of people who bought homes between April and June last year were unmarried couples, and 3% were listed as other, which tends to mean friends or roommates.
Yeah, but if they use that data, if they're just going by co-buyers with different last name, that could be an unmarried couple. So it could be skewed data.
Yeah, but I remember as a younger man, Mike, I had a friend that was buying investment properties. And
that can be done too, probably.
Sure.
Right now.
At a very young age, I was like, this guy's doing big things. And meanwhile, I'm like stacking T-shirts at WHFS.
Exactly.
Well, everybody, most homeowners in America now have gotten a ride on the home explosion train. And, it makes you wonder, Carl and I talk about that sometimes.
Yeah, but if you sell, you're going to buy at a high level
yeah,
again.
it's a golden handcuff because
it's a golden handcuff because where are you going to go?
Exactly.
Everybody says the same thing. Oh, I could get this for my house now. Where are you going to go?
Right.
It's weird. And the question is, it's such a strange economy now in so many different ways that I can't predict. I used to say, remember we used to say, we got a bubble now, the housing market, it'll swing back down. You just don't know what's going on.
You know where you go, Mike? You go into a major metropolitan city. The prices on those homes have not risen the way they've risen in the burbs.
Oscar wants me to come back to Washington, D.C. See you next month.
Mike, why don't we both sell and invest in a trailer?
Together.
We could live together. Let the broads figure it out for themselves. Just
Carla
me and
and
you.
Carrie sleep in one bedroom. You and I sleep in the other.
No. They can buy their own trailer. Just me and you in a small space.
No, I like a double wide with all 4 of us. The girls sleep down the hallway. You and I sleep in the bigger bedroom with a lion.
Licking our toes.
Absolutely. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association, HFPA. You know them? They're the Golden Globe people.
Globe, yeah.
They plan to move forward with their 2022 Golden Globe ceremony, even if the award show won't be televised on NBC anymore. Back in May, NBC announced it would not air next year's Golden Globes, which the HFPA, Hollywood Foreign Press, hosts, after outrage was sparked from a Los Angeles Times expose that said there were 0 black members within the organization. So we're going to see if they move forward and see if they've made any kind of change.
Haven't they always been sort of vague about what they are?
Yes.
I mean, I know that they say that they are the best predictor for the Oscars, that oftentimes the Golden Globes will really set the template for who's going to win the Academy Awards. But the board itself of the Hollywood Foreign Press, it's like mysterious. They don't let on. Who knows?
Well, I think everybody could solve every problem by just letting Cedric the Entertainer host all of the shows.
I think he's a funny man.
There you go. There you
all
go.
of them. That'll work. And now a little something. In Florida, of course. That's what I'm going to be saying from now. In Florida, of course.
Of course.
A woman suspected that a worker nearby had broken into her barn. And was doing unusual things with one of her horses. It's kind of weird reading this story and just watching back and forth Santos's tale.
Well, he's doing unusual things to my...
back and forth.
There's unusual things going on under the console.
Hey, we have an Engel, don't we? That's a listener. Catherine Engel, no relation, told... Wasn't the guy's name Bob Engel? No. Bob Engel.
Tom Engel.
Tom Engel.
Tom Engel, that's it. You get
Tom
good
Engel.
memory. Catherine Engel told police last month she installed a trail cam inside the 4-stall Vero Beach barn where her horses are kept. This story, by the way, I spent probably 20 minutes editing this story for broadcast. Yes,
Okay.
there was that much detail.
Well, then.
It was not pleasant.
Was a
at
step
all.
stool involved?
In Vero Beach, put the trail cam in, and she did this after she kept discovering unusual marks around one horse's neck. She also recalled finding bungee cords and ropes around the neck of a miniature horse, even though she hadn't placed them there.
Oh, no.
That's the detail you're getting. You're not getting anything more. The
Thank
camera
you.
cops say captured 57-year-old Santiago Victoria entering the barn late at night and invading a stall occupied by a horse named Maria.
Oh, no.
During the 3 separate encounters, Victoria appeared to be, with the horse. Confronted by police, and prior to his arrest, he copped to it. Victoria admitted to everything and all the activities he was doing, and knew he was going to go to jail because he requested a diet of carrots, whole apples, and sugar cubes in jail. That's not funny. That's disgusting. That's not funny. What am I doing? We got to take a break. We'll come back with more. It's not funny. That's terrible. Stu, right here on the Mike O'Mara Show. God. Sick.
Pumpkin spice coffee.
Yes.
Pumpkin spice coffee creamer.
Oh, yeah.
Pumpkin spice cookies. Pumpkin spice ice cream.
Delicious.
Pumpkin spice air fresheners.
Smells like autumn. Ah.
Pumpkin spice bath bombs.
Sure. Okay.
Pumpkin spice deodorant.
Well,
Pumpkin spice Sudoku books.
wait, what?
Pumpkin spice underpants.
Is that a thing?
Pumpkin spice condoms.
Well, now you're just being an asshole.
Shock jock.
Wait. Pumpkin spice?
If you're feeling spicy, you can find all your favorite pumpkin spice treats and products for the home at Target and Walmart through the Mike O'Mara Show Shopping Center. Click the banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com and have them shipped directly to your door, or you can pick them up at the store. Your purchases help support the funny, so get your spice on today.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Relief Band. I think it's about 20 years ago, maybe 30. I was on a vacation and went on a deep-sea fishing trip, and I got motion sickness.
Sure.
And I'd never had it before. I was raised on the water. If I'm out on a boat that's a tiny little boat that I'm going from point A to point B, I do pretty well. If I go on one of these fishing trips, I have a problem. I love the Relief Band so much. I took my son, I told you the story about taking my son out on a little deep sea fishing. We went offshore, and I wore the Relief Band, charged it up the night before, put it on my wrist, and absolutely no problem. This is how I knew. We're coming back from being on probably 3-foot swells
and a
all day long.
And a little
doing
craft. You're not
in
on
about a 25-foot boat, 28-foot boat, and we're going up and down, nothing. It was fantastic.
So
if you
great.
know, 1 in 3 Americans suffer from nausea. I am going to tell you now, you must get this. If you know anybody that suffers from motion sickness, if anybody's going through any kind of issue with medicine where they are getting nausea, Relief Band is the #1 FDA-cleared anti-nausea wristband that has been clinically proven to relieve and prevent nausea and vomiting associated with what I have, motion sickness, anxiety, migraines, hangovers, morning sickness, chemotherapy, and so much more. I've endorsed a lot of products on this show, but this product, I'm here to tell you, I used it. It works. I've used it in 2 different circumstances. One, when I had a little too much evening the night before, and then when I went out at 6 o'clock in the morning and went offshore. And I used to be always sick when I would do that. It would happen. And you'd get that rolling feeling all day. Doesn't happen with Relief Band. Here's what's great. It's 100% drug-free. It's non-drowsy. 0 side effects. The technology was originally developed over 20 years ago in hospitals. Relief Band stimulates a nerve in the wrist. It travels to the part of the brain that controls nausea. Very simple. It's it's brilliant, but it's also simple. Then it blocks the signal that your brain is sending to your stomach. It's so, so wonderful, and I really want you to try it. As you're getting ready to take that autumn road trip or hopping on that bumpy hayride at the apple orchard or whatever, or you're just anxious about heading back into the office, we've got good news. Right now, Relief Band has an exclusive offer just for TMOS listeners. If you go to reliefband.com and use promo code TMOS, you will receive 20% off, and it's worth it. It's so wonderful a product. Plus, free shipping and a no-questions-asked 30-day money-back guarantee. So head to reliefband.com and use our promo code TMOS for 20% off plus free shipping. Relief Band. Remember that product. Go to our website and check it out. It's good. And I think they've got them. Although it's, in this world we live in, we were talking, I think it was last week, Oscar, we were talking about COVID shortages and what's there, what's not. Mm-hmm. I went to the box store that Rob loves so bad yesterday with my bride, and I had a pretty keen eye out. And the only thing I can tell you that really jumped off the page as a staple that's just gone is the #1 soft drink, I think, in most of the country, Diet Coke, which was AWOL. They had none.
I've seen that gone, and also I've seen Kirkland toilet paper devoid. They have some Charmin, but the Kirkland, that's their big mover. I've seen that empty. And Mike, I actually have a list of some of the other casualties that have happened.
The aluminum is the issue with the Coke cans.
Oh, is it?
That's right. That's the supply chain. Yeah. We all watched the news story. It seems everybody's aware of the fact that outside the port of Los Angeles, we got these 77 container ships that are just sitting there because the trucking situation is so dire right now.
Pipelines, it's a disaster.
It's really, really weird. It really, really is.
Mike, I've seen a shortage of all things straws. Places don't have straws.
You're a big straw guy?
I like straws. Yeah, very much. I don't care about the dolphins. Let them die. I like a nice straw. But also, Mike, styrofoam cups, because of the ingredients needed to make styrofoam. Also because of that.
Let the dolphins die.
I was only speaking of Dan Marino.
Okay.
Where did you see a straw shortage?
All up and down the East Coast. When I was driving to North Carolina, no sheets had long straws. And I asked the lady, I said, do you have long straws? No, there's a straw shortage.
You know what's funny when we're talking about the planet burning up? And you know what we're great at in this country?
What's that?
The people that bitch about paper straws. Oh, my God.
Yeah. But, Mike, it's not just straws. It's not just straws. There's foam.
What is it?
It's a foam shortage, which means styrofoam cups, but also sofas, boats, RVs, refrigerators. Anything that requires foam is impossible to manufacture because they can't get the chemicals to make foam. Liquor is being bought up. Chlorine is in short supply because of all the takeout. Heinz can't keep up
Hold on,
with
you raced by one. Stop racing.
Right.
Liquor?
Liquor has been in short supply for the entire...
What, like alcohol, like booze?
Yeah, and through the whole
and you
pandemic.
just brushed by it, for God's sake. What?
So just two things. So living in a city and having gone out numerous times and outside environments, it's not shocking to ask for a certain type of alcohol and them saying we're completely out.
Yep. Yeah. And that's why, and it's not as panic driven anymore. I remember about a year ago, if you drove by the ABC store Tuesdays at noon, there would be a line because that's when they were getting their 6 bottles of Jack Daniels or their 12 bottles of Makers.
Like
People were waiting in line.
I have asked for Jack Daniels at various restaurants in the last, 16 months?
Yeah, mostly breakfast places.
Yeah. Because it's great with pancakes. So what
and there's a shortage of Jack?
More than on one occasion, I would say no less than 5. They'll say, we're all out of Jack Daniels. Would you like some Jim Beam?
Yeah, I mean, and that's science fiction. Jack is the real drink. That is what you have. That's right.
And why would they be? Why would there be a shortage of booze, though? I think of barrels,
there's
sugarcane
combination of raw supplies and also people drinking
bottles.
More.
Oh, you know what? A bunch of drunks came out of the pandemic.
Yeah,
but could it be shipping?
Right, Pony?
Could it be the
I
fact
think there's
of
a lot
getting
of
things
lot of
from,
ingredients? Yeah,
wow.
A lot of people on flex schedules are drinking more.
Wednesday? They'll never know on Zoom.
No.
I'll just
that
mute
is
myself.
So incredibly sad.
And
oh my
Mike,
God.
because of all the people doing takeout and DoorDash and all that stuff, Heinz ketchup can't keep up with demand. So
Nope. Can't tell you that one. There were the 3-packs all over the store. All over the store. Giant, big 3-packs.
They might be referring to the packets.
The packets.
Like
you know what? There should be a shortage of that because that's crap anyway.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, really, that's crap
You're
anyway.
a blue blood. Not everybody can afford a 3-pack of ketchup and take it home and hope to use
I'm not talking about the time about when you go out to the store. You know what?
Ketchup for days.
As we move out of the pandemic, put the bottle on the table. All right, don't give me a thimble that's going to ejaculate all over the table when I try to open it up.
What about the pump, the big pump at the place?
Oh,
that's disgusting.
Yeah,
that's disgusting.
That's probably not okay.
I got sick at a Baltimore Orioles game one time because of one of those.
I had
pumps.
a fat attack last night. They gave me 2 ketchups, and I asked them. I went to McDonald's in the building. By the way, in the building.
Yes.
Around 10, and I said, "Can I have 2 more ketchups?" Like, 2 more? I said, just 2 more.
That's all, just 2.
Like if it was gambling.
Yeah, I like the fact, Mike, you blame your sickness from Baltimore on the ketchup, but it was herpes, wasn't it?
It was actually Baltimore.
Well, I had several sores.
The city itself.
Hello. These are not
I
good
threw
fries.
up. I got sick. I don't get sick very often. I remember that. I got sick at the ball game. The old ball game in the old yard where they had this nasty, unclean. You know what? I know exactly how it happened. I'm walking up. I got my hot dog.
Yeah.
And I'm going up to where the stand is where you put your condiments
on your dog.
top of your hot dog. And right before that, lady's coming up and she's got one of them rags.
Yeah.
And she's wiping. What she's doing is swabbing down. She's swabbing down the little spigots.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that I put my mustard on my dog right after she swabbed the spigot, and that's how I got sick to my stomach.
Go home.
I got to tell you something. You got more of these because we'll talk about the whole thing with the economy because I'm curious about what's happening, when we're going to recover. We got to take a break because, as usual, we're talking about the guy in 1973 that blew out his windows. That's when I stopped the show. I didn't have the talking head. I thought it was going to be boring, but then Steve Kelsey got riveting, and we lingered with him a whole day practically. I mean, that's the way it goes on the show.
All that glass.
Think you might want to clean that towel before you spigot off the mustard dispenser?
The students of Herndon High School are scared.
I'm so scared.
They've all heard stories about a madman who lurks in the shadows of Herndon, Virginia.
I don't even want to go past that building on the corner.
They've heard how he slashes his victims after they fall asleep.
They say he comes to get you in your dreams.
They caution each other to stay awake, or they may experience a nightmare on Eldon Street.
Hey, it's Jimmy!
What do you want from me?
Try the buffalo platter.
You're a monster!
Say hi to Goose Cerrito!
Save yourself. Order a TMOS bonus show subscription and laugh along with Mike, Rob, and Oscar. Otherwise, you might come face to face with the terrifying Jimmy Kruger.
It's not a Ponzi scheme.
Click the banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com and start your subscription today so you can live to see tomorrow.
It'll be okay.
Jimmy. How about that, Jimmy? Jim Amato and Mark Riddell giving Jimmy his own little promo there, and he doesn't even come on the show anymore. That's wonderful. You know, no, I'm in contact with him yesterday, and get well soon, Jimmy. Sore knee, Jimmy. My goodness. Jimmy Kruger, really, hope you speedy recovery.
His
Listen,
knife hands.
if you've listened to the show for a while, you know Rob is obsessed with Best Fiends. How are you doing on it right now?
Great. I'm doing
Are you
great.
doing well?
I'm up to level 4,510. It's called Organic Path. And Mike, you got to get 130 strawberries, 40 houseplants. That's new. And just because I know you love it, you got to defeat 5 slugs.
5 slugs.
Five slugs. And when you're going to say strawberries, say it the old English way, please.
Strawberry.
Strawberries.
Strawberry or starberries.
Mother, could I have some strawberries in my cream?
Please. Strawberries.
So, Best Fiends is the best match 3 style game by far. The rest are basically the same game with different color schemes. So stop crushing the same old candy. And I really almost sound like I'm selling a drug there, don't I? Hey, listen. So stop crushing the same old candy. And try a puzzle game with something fresh. And suddenly I turned into Peter Falk. Something fresh to offer, the Best Fiends.
Yeah, I got
You play
one more
through an
slug
actual
for you.
sto-
That's
I
one more slug.
one more question. Do you put the strawberries out of their misery or not? Anyway, you play through an actual storyline, complete with good guys, the Fiends, and the not-so-good guys, the Slugs, as Rob just mentioned. Your Fiends start out as wee baby versions
Little
of their
guys.
future selves. Tiny wee baby versions. The more you play, the more Fiends join your team, and the more powerful they become, helping you solve increasingly challenging puzzles as you progress through the game. It's an action-packed adventure and a brain-boosting puzzle game all rolled into one. And with new content added all the time, you're never bored. Where you at, Mr. Spiewak?
I'm right
we
here,
just found
and
out.
also,
Yes.
but I will add this. Remember my 9-hour flight from New York City?
Yes.
Best Fiends was a lifesaver because you don't need internet to play it. So even when I'm on airplane mode, waiting in the airplane on the runway, I still got Best Fiends to play the whole time. Everyone was bored out of their mind. I'm having a blast, so it's great.
Dominant game if you want to ignore the person you're traveling with. Download Best Fiends free today on the App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R, Best Fiends, and we thank you. I just brought this up about the whole COVID thing because I am hearing it every day down here. And I'm very curious about where you guys see the world going with all of this, if there's any normalcy on the horizon. What I hear and what I heard when I traveled in June and what I hear down here now is just getting people to work, getting people that want to get back to work, supply chain, people desperate for employees. Where are we? Are we pulling out of this anytime soon?
Someone this morning on CNBC had a funny anecdote, and maybe something that's thought-provoking, is that, so let's say occupancy rates in New York City at this point, if we're lucky, are at 30-35%. In the district here, if we're lucky, maybe 30%. This is office occupancy, people coming back to the offices, right?
Office occupancy.
Yeah, yes. Which, for many reasons, especially the economy for a city, whether it's a sandwich shop on the corner or all the way up to the C-suite, you need people for certain jobs.
Right.
That's just what it is. You can also work remote, which many companies have taken advantage of to restructure their leases and get out of, and say we can all work remote. We don't need to carry this big liability on our balance on our books. So for me, I sit here and I wonder. I was like, well, I can see both sides, but this is where you start asking yourself questions. If a good portion of these people don't want to come back to work because they're scared of COVID, that's understandable. I'm hoping that the Merck pill changes a lot of things. I'm hoping that the FDA, once the FDA gives this 5-6 day course of pills, whatever it is, for people that are unvaccinated, and if you're vaccinated, it works even better.
Yeah.
When that happens, we'll get out on the other side of this in the spring. This is just my personal thoughts. But this is where you, Mike, you really are a soothsayer. You can see the future. And when you question things, I sometimes think, oh, what is he barking about now?
Mm-hmm.
How are some of the same people that are scared to come back to work and be in the office for jobs that need to be done on site or for service jobs that need to, to be done on site in restaurants, etc.
Right.
Those same people are at NFL stadiums on the weekend, packed and stacked.
Yeah.
Or they're at college stadiums across the country, packed and stacked.
Enjoying the fun.
Yes.
Yeah, fun they like.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to sound like my father and
I'm
my
not the
grandfather
man.
and an old fart, but does it not appear that we may be entering a land of F-offs, right?
Well,
where it's all about the joy and all about the fun. I mean, at a certain
It's a
point,
give an inch, take a mile type situation because back before anybody was vaccinated, because there was no vaccination available,
right?
People were staying home because they had to stay home. They found out they could pull it off, and now they're saying, "Yeah, you know
pull
what?
a paycheck."
Yeah, I think I'd like to stay home."
and which is fine for certain jobs, and frankly, some employers have really embraced this because they're saving money on the rent and lease of their business, which I get. Good, awesome. There's an upside to that. But if I ran a small business and Rob Spiewak is too scared to come into work because of COVID, and that's the line I'm getting, and then I see he went to New York City and paid $500 for a pedicab
if
around
that
Central
hypothetical
Park,
took place, you'd be like, "Hey, what's going on? Where's the reality
deal?
here?" You know, and
Why
think
am I
that
the villain?
Well, this is the only example I had.
Yeah,
it was a hypothetical.
Yeah, you
you
aren't
come
going to
into
a
work, you're in
stadium.
work right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
You're in
yeah,
Washington, D.C.
yes.
You commuted.
You're
We know
at
you're
work.
doing
You're
it.
not
Okay, what if a guy
What are
is
some
on
of the other things? What are some of the other things on your list that are missing?
Oh, missing
that right now.
Used cars, because
used cars, and I think a segment of new cars as well.
Well, I think because
they
no
called
one
it a
can-
microchip thing.
Yeah, people can't get a new car, so they're buying up the used cars, and used car lots that should be full are empty. People are working from home more. It's hard to find desks. They're having a hard time keeping up with the demand for desks because people are building home offices. Also, this is a funny one, roller skates. More people are roller skating now.
Okay.
So there's a roller skating shortage.
That's I can live with
and
that
the
one.
same one, bikes, but also camping equipment, above ground pools, and trampolines. Because people are going out.
There's a white trash segment of America right now that's going out of their minds. You know, we can't get a trampoline and we can't get an above ground pool. Come on now.
No.
I got one trampoline, but it doesn't have the screen around
And
it.
by the way,
There's some joy in jumping on a trampoline and falling into an above ground pool. I've seen it
This
online.
is true. This is absolutely true.
On roller skates.
Out of the bedroom window onto the trampoline. You know,
I'm glad Pony was able to secure his. There is a kayak shortage.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
You just don't know, right?
You
just don't know where we don't. Sorry, we don't have them.
Obvious, and we've been dealing with this the whole time. Bleach. They're having a hard time keeping up with the demand for
all
bleach.
the murders.
Yeah, and also the smells. Webcams, because people working from home.
terrible.
I'm in the box store yesterday,
Yes.
and I'm trying to get some new specs because these slipped in. You can't tell by this TV shot, but they slipped into the recliner. And my recliner that eats things, and it chewed these up to a degree. I go to the Costco counter where they have the specs, right?
Yeah, I know
and
exactly.
I guess 3 years ago, I was in Costco dealing with prescription. They, I think, have a 2-year limit on the prescription. So she says no. I said, oh, then I have to get an eye check. Okay, can I do that? She's booked through the end of
But
December.
solid.
The end of December. I said,
Wow.
And she looks at me and she said, well, she was the queen of no. She just loved saying no.
Oh, God, we ran into some of those. They love saying
the
no.
queen of no. The queen of no. She said, it's the ophthalmologist. They're
They
in
can't
demand right
find
now.
help.
They can't find people that I thought an eye doctor was a rather
but they're-
respectable line of work
They
where you
don't
can.
want to go to Costco with all the people there.
Yeah, they don't. I don't know.
They'd rather work at a private office.
And also,
Add
it's
that to the
easy to
list.
cheat on an eye chart if it's on Zoom because you can zoom
Right.
in. You can
Well,
cheat
what
on
I
the
did
test.
to her, what I did seriously to her, I looked her straight in the eye and I took my glasses off and I said, "You can't help me now.
Did you
You
tell
can't help me now."
Did you tell her what happened to your glasses?
There they are. Lenses came out great. The rest of them looked like a pretzel, but I fixed it.
Turn that off.
You did think. I can't tell.
I know. I did a good job. I got little mini screwdrivers all over the house.
Like
I'm a
you
magician.
did you buy the kit? The little
The
plastic
kit.
envelope?
I have a watch. I bought a watch years ago. I bought a watch repair kit.
That's right.
Used it more than anything.
Made
Used
a
it more.
Best investment.
You made a fortune.
I change my own batteries in my watch.
Really?
I do. Yes,
You
I
should do it for your friends.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
You should put a sign out
Yeah.
front. Hang a shutter.
You know what? No. Anyway.
We discussed this earlier. Affordable housing is at a premium. Gardening equipment is hard to come by. And freezers. You can't buy a freezer because people have bought the freezers. Again, that's related to foam for manufacturing.
Well, appliances overall.
People are buying them to keep the food. We've always talked about toilet paper as well.
With the bad, I must share the good from the box store. If you happen to go by the frozen dessert section of your local Costco,
yes.
The Kit Kat drumsticks ice cream products are available for the holidays. They don't have them in a regular grocery store. I checked. Miss O'Mara did a great bait and switch. I said, look at these. She says, oh, yeah, we have to have those. Those are going to be special. I said, really? Really, Carla? You're going to let me buy crap? She said, yeah. We'll swing by. We don't want them to melt if they're in the car.
Always
we
get
still
your
have a
ice
lot of
cream
shopping
last.
to do.
Exactly, yeah.
She said, well, she does that to me, and then she never comes back. And then I'm in the car, and I go, boo!
Mike, you should maybe think of getting the other product, the Kit Kat Flat. It's a better version.
Oh yeah, that's attached to the drumstick. We have to take a break. All right. Well, anyway, the world's dying.
We're dying. We're all dying.
It'll get better. Biden just put in. They made a deal with everybody. They said, "Look, we can enforce this, or you could do this together." Just this morning broke a pledge to start moving S.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope so.
Yeah.
I want things to get better and vaccinate my kid. We'll take a break and we'll be back with more after this.
Hello, fans. Welcome to ESPN College Game Day. We're coming to you today from beautiful Morgantown, West Virginia, for what should be an excellent matchup between the WVU Mountaineers and the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. I'm Mark Riddell, and I'm joined in the broadcast booth by my partner in college football excellence, calling the X's and O's, as always, Carrie Spiewak.
I wanted to say boys and guys, and I said them at the same time.
Mountaineers with the ball. They take it up the gut for a gain of 5 yards.
I get it. Good night.
Yeah, you are so right. That's why I love working with you. You're the best in the business.
Don't tell me what to do. I'm a woman. I make babies.
You're right, Gary. I should mention our sponsor. Game Day is brought to you today by the Mike O'Mara Shopping Center. Shop Target and Walmart through the link at MikeO'MaraShow.com for all your game day tailgating needs. For Carrie Spiewak and myself, thanks for tuning in.
I'm so bad.
Not actually my wife.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Do you smell it in the air? Yep, we're all thinking fall and Halloween, which naturally sparks creativity. From the costumes we pick to the recipes we bake and the decor we put up. Let KiwiCo foster that natural creative thinking and channel it into hands-on fun for your kids. Discover hands-on science and art projects that are delivered to your door. KiwiCo delivers creativity made convenient for your entire family. Your child can get super cool hands-on science, art, and geography projects delivered to their door every month. They'll be so excited to see these arrive in the mail, and you'll be surprised at the high quality these materials are, too. These are real engineering, science, and art projects for children. Michael loved building his own kaleidoscope and his sun, earth, and moon lantern. Do your part to encourage your child to be innovators and creative thinkers. There's no commitment, so you can pause or cancel anytime. Scare up some fun this Halloween with KiwiCo. Redefine learning with play. Explore hands-on projects that build confidence, creativity, and critical thinking skills. Get 50% off your first month, plus free shipping on any crate line with code TMOS at KiwiCo.com. That's 50% off your first month at KIWICO.com. Promo code TMOS. That's KIWICO.com/TMOS. Let's go into the dumpster right now and see what we got. We're opening it. Who's in there? Hello.
Hello. This is Johnny Bench. You know, your autograph can be pretty valuable if you put it in the right place. It can be the opening pitch of a whole new ball game.
I think he's just visiting.
I think, he's still around.
Yeah.
I believe. I saw him do some stuff down here.
Probably.
He lives down here.
Was he endorsing a product?
Probably. Yeah.
John
Been
Bench?
doing that. Blue Emu or something like that.
Jack
It was,
Bench, Mike.
I think it was. Jack Bench.
Love that big red machine.
Jackie Bench.
Mike, do you still take your news on WQAD News 8?
I have WQAD on my phone right now, and I'm actually listening to it while we're doing this show.
Good. If anything breaks, let me know. As you know, then over the weekend, their meteorologist Effridge Davis, she's a big Texas A&M fan, and the game was going on during the newscast. And to say she was distracted might be an understatement.
Just some context.
Yeah.
They're playing Alabama.
And they haven't beaten Alabama in a long time.
This was a massive upset.
Well, it's a number one It's the number one team in the nation. 19-game winning streak. Alabama was going into this game.
Right.
Nobody figured Texas A&M was going to have anything.
Big effing deal.
The Aggies. Texas A&M, the Aggies. Anyway, this is Effridge Davis.
Effridge is really focused on the Texas A&M and the Alabama game.
We're tied right now. It's 38-38. We have the ball. It's like a minute 26 left. We just need to eat the time against a field goal range, kick a field goal, and then we would win. It'd be the first time we beat Alabama since Johnny Manziel.
This is during the newscast. Okay.
I respect her.
Okay.
This is great.
Trying to let her know that we do need to hear about the weather, though.
Yes.
I think you have a good forecast. People are going to want to hear about that.
Can they wait to after the game? Although we're getting a lot of rain this week, I thought I would let you guys know that the fall foliage right now is this week. We're expecting it this week. It's going to be around this Friday as peak foliage this week right now for the Northwest over here, which is where the Quad Cities are at.
So yeah, they won, and they won.
I love this.
I think it's great.
This is genuine. It's organic. It's real. It's a small market.
Nick Saban is just the evil Ming.
The evil empire.
He's the Emperor Ming of college football. So anybody knocking off Alabama makes me happy. I love that. And it was an amazing upset.
Yeah.
It really was.
And while we're talking sports over the weekend, thank you everybody, all 10,000 of you that told me about all the footballs that were bouncing off the uprights. Here are two good ones. This is from the Packers. The Packers ended up beating the Bengals. There were 5 missed field goals in the game, 2 of them because of that nasty upright.
For the lead from 57 yards away. McPherson's kick is upright. No good. 49-yard attempt for the win. McPherson's kick is off the upright.
Same guy?
Yep.
Same guy.
Same
love
guy,
that
2
sound.
misses?
I love that
to win the game. Both gone.
Boom.
Oh, can I just say officially, as far as the NFL, I know there are a lot of big fans out there with teams that are making runs. Don't care. Season over. Season over.
Don't care.
Season over.
Hands in the air, just don't care.
Gonna try. I'll probably still look in, but season over. You know, if you're the Giants, I'm sorry, season over. Quarterback, star. Running back, star. Wide receiver, star. Best offensive lineman, out. You know, it's like they're all gone. It's ridiculous.
The Caps have their first home game tonight, so now you can watch hockey.
I'm a second season hockey fan.
Okay, so
second
you're just taking some time off now?
Baseball, that frees up a lot more time down here. Stuff to do down here in Florida.
Well, you got a good seat on the bandwagon.
And he just got rollerblades.
That's right.
Yeah.
They were short supply.
Yeah.
And a trampoline.
I know a guy.
You know a guy?
I know a guy.
The black market, roller skate market.
Got your blades. Got your blades in the back of my station wagon.
I watched the Sopranos film. I can't believe you even talked about this.
Tomorrow?
Yes.
Save it for tomorrow?
Yes.
I want to talk about that. That is fascinating.
The Many Saints of Newark is called?
Something like that.
Something like that.
I'm diving
Murders
into
in his home.
There is by the way, we talk about shortages and all that real quick, and we'll squeeze it in.
Course.
Maybe tomorrow we can have a segment talking about there's so much content right now on streaming services.
Oh, God,
you can't keep up, and I am all in, and so is my bride on Squid Game.
Squid Game?
Squid Game.
I'm on
Absolutely.
episode 5.
And Mike on only
I'm not there yet.
Only Murders in the Building did the funniest piece of stunt casting last night I've seen in 5 years.
I'm talking about new shows.
Yeah, the one that just dropped on Tuesday. Dick.
New shows.
Right. That's what I said.
Steve Martin.
You got the title wrong again, I think.
No, Only Murders in the Building. I wrote it down. And as a matter of fact, Squid Game is much older than this show.
I thought it was Only Murders in the Condo.
No, it's not. They didn't go condo. They couldn't.
Every time you say Only Murders in the Building, I hear this in my head. I'm sorry.
Then
I
see
really
a
do.
doctor.
I watched. I really tried. So it sucks so bad.
I don't. Okay, just spoiler alert. Tell me this isn't funny. Because you know that Steve Martin plays like an old action, old detective star.
We don't, but now we
like
do.
Banachek or Columbo or something. His stunt double shows up, and his stunt double is played by Jane Lynch.
Jane Lynch. Wow.
But they're dressed,
Jane Lynch.
But they're
Boy,
dressed
that's
exactly
great.
alike.
So they throw Jane Lynch, and that'll make it better.
You're fun.
No, you know what? Under any other circumstances, you would tear apart Jane Lynch.
I would.
Nobody has thrown more effing darts at Jane Lynch than you.
This is why I said it was
30
great
years
stunt
of this
casting.
hypocrisy.
Stunt casting that was funny. When she walked in, I have to admit it, I laughed because she was dressed like
It is
Steve
funny
Martin.
on paper. It is funny to hear
And
that.
she's like,
you know?
hey, you did some of your own stunts. You rode a bicycle.
Okay. All right.
So,
this is
okay. Let's close with this.
Maybe
Don't
we won't talk
argue.
about TV since Rob's going to ruin it.
I know.
Not just TV. Mike, this was a viral video yesterday. Don't argue with a baby goat. Because if a baby goat gets mad, he'll spit on you.
Oh.
So
All right.
here's a man arguing with his baby goat. We close with this.
Bro, you want to fight? Yeah? Yeah? Huh? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. No. It's really not. You want a kiss? Make up. Whoa.
So don't argue with a goat. And Jane Lynch, she's up one notch. So there you go. That's your digital dumpster. Have a good Wednesday, everybody.
Only murders in the building. Go ahead, let me start binging that. Anyway, that's it. I got to.
What if they made a Korean version? Would you watch that?
Hey, look, Squid Game's unusual.
number one show in the
very,
world.
very,
The world.
it's
It's
very,
the
very
biggest
unique.
in the history of Netflix.
The world.
Yeah.
The world. We got to take a break, and we'll come back with more fun tomorrow. For Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana, this is Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Want more? Make sure you check out The Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Hey, Rob.
下一个看房，